Hello, hope you're doing well. Kyle here, back with you as we are about to head into the year 3 draft with the Sabres. In the last video, unfortunately, we did get swept in the conference finals by the eventual Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. But overall, a good season for these Sabres in year 3. But that does mean the drought of winning a conference championship extends to 28 years, and obviously still a cup that we are awaiting. So hopefully next year will be our year, or at least we can get a little bit closer to it. But in this video, we're going to get into the draft. However, as I mentioned in the last video, there are not a ton of players that I'm really interested in, not at least that we'll be able to acquire, or at least draft, I should say. All these guys are going in the top half of the first round, and our pick is going to be late because we did have a good regular season and we made it to the conference finals. I'm not actually sure what our pick will be. 29, yeah. So I guess that makes sense. We were realistically the third best team in the league, so 29th overall, nobody really around that range, but we do have all these picks that we can move for an upgrade to the team, and I am looking. I'll show you what our team looks like here. So forwards, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are our top 6 right now. Kane, I'm looking to move just because the third line, I think we're going to go with Michelli, Wahlberg, and then Luca. That'll be our third line for next year. So then that means we have Kane, Josh Doan, Peyton Krebs that are expendable. So I'm looking to move them. Noah Ostlund can play on the fourth line. He's probably pretty capped at where he is there at 24 years old. And then we've got a bunch of depth guys as well, so we can look to add in the offseason. But for now, ideally we're looking for a top 6 forward. And ideally a sniper, because we only really have Kulik as a sniper. Obviously Tage Thompson can shoot the puck, we know that, but he is a power forward, so I would love to get a sniper for that top 6. And we'll go from here and see what we can do in the draft, see if anybody is available. So let's get right into it. And we'll take a look and see if there is anybody on the block for anyone. So we'll go to skaters. Troy Terry here. He's a sniper. That's interesting. He does have a modified no trade, which I can't tell. And yeah, so he will not be going to us, unfortunately. Terry, Kale Granlund, playmaker. So no for Anaheim. Boston, no. Buffalo, that's us, obviously. Calgary, Carolina, Chicago, Colorado, Columbus. Sean Monahan won't be moved. Dallas, Detroit, Edmonton, Florida, LA, Barrett Hayton, and Fiala. Fiala can't get. Barrett Hayton is a two-way. Don't really need him. Warren Fogel's a power forward. Don't really need him. Too old as well. Minnesota. Nothing really there. Montreal, nothing there. Nashville, no. New Jersey. Islanders. Ryan Pulock, we don't need defense. Ryan Hartman, two-way forward, also too old. Casey Middlestad is a playmaker. Adam Lowry, two-way forward. Okay. Rangers. Send, Zub, don't need defenders. Travis Sanheim, don't need defenders. Owen Tippett. Sniper, but he's nearly 30 and he's kind of dropping. Pittsburgh, San Jose. Foley, two-way. Kraken, St. Louis, Tampa, Toronto, Mammoth, Vegas, Washington, Winnipeg. Okay. So nobody really available, at least, but what we maybe can do is go through and just look and see if there is anybody that is potentially someone that we could acquire. So, I think I don't really know how these teams did, unfortunately, in the well, I guess we could figure by draft position, right? That makes sense. So let's go. Let me just make a list here of teams that were 16 or lower. Obviously, teams could have traded picks, but for my benefit, we'll go like this. So Columbus, Islanders, Devils, Caps, Flames, Preds, Ducks, Kings, Habs, Mammoth, Sharks, Blues, Red Wings, Pens, Bruins, and Kraken. Okay, so there are 16 teams there that presumably missed the playoffs. So they would be looking, or at least okay with giving away high-end roster players to potentially rebuild. And I can give them picks. Yes, that is good. So let us go through, check out these teams, and see if there is anybody that we could acquire, and we'll put them on our list. So Leo Carlson, Gauthier McTavish, Troy Terry we know we can't acquire, Granlund. Okay, so nobody from Anaheim. Boston is on the list. Pasternak, not a chance we're getting him. Geeky, no. Lindholm, Patrick Laine, potentially. 30 years old. Okay, interesting. I'll put him on the watch list there, and that's it there. Okay. Calgary is also on the list. Belchitz, I don't think is a sniper. He's a power forward. Morgan Frost, playmaker. And Cates is a two-way. Okay, go back. No, I want to go, find back to Calgary. Forwards. Nazem Kadri is a two-way. Coronado, potentially. That could be good. Okay, so we'll put a watch on Coronado. And Carolina, Aho, Seth Jarvis. We know all about Seth Jarvis, but I'll avoid acquiring him because we did that with Ottawa last year. So I like to try to keep it at least a little bit fresh, you know. This dude, Nikushkin, dang, he looks pretty good. Stankoven is a sniper. Okay. Jackson Blake, playmaker. Okay. Chicago, Bedard, obviously not. Tarasenko, Frank Nazar is a sniper, but yeah, probably too young there. I feel like I've gotten off track from my list here. I definitely have. Colorado is not on the list. Columbus is on the list. So, anybody here? Yeah, Chinikov. Pretty good contract there for him as well. This is a lot of work going through here. Marchenko, probably unlikely that they trade him, but he's actually got a pretty decent trade value. He's got a lot of huge salary though, but we'll put him on the list. Why not? Fantilli, Kent Johnson. This dude. Sillinger and Voronkov. Okay. So we'll move on. Dallas is not on the list. Detroit is on the list. Raymond Larkin. Casper Donato. Okay, back we go. Raymond, Larkin, Casper, Donato, no. Edmonton is not on the list. Florida not on the list. LA is on the list. Byfield, Kempe won't move. Hayton, LaFerriere, Kevin Fiala won't move. Okay. Minnesota, not on the list. Montreal is on the list. Cole Caulfield, too much trade value. Demidov, Slavkovsky, Suzuki, Kirby Doc, no. Okay. Nashville, no. New Jersey is on the list. None of these guys will move. Islanders are on the list. Horvat, Barzal. Jack Quinn at 85. Dang. Hey, there's a guy that we could use, right? Dang. Okay, well, whatever. He wasn't like that when we had him, right? Hindsight is 2020. Okay. None of these guys, and then once again, I'm getting off the list. Ottawa, no. Philly, no. Pittsburgh is on the list, but no one really here. Obviously none of these guys. Kraken is on the list. Got a lot of good young guys, but no snipers, I don't believe. Buchnevich is a two-way. Dylan Holloway, probably a power forward. Two-way forward. Tampa is not on the list. Toronto not on the list. Utah is on the list. TJ Ginla, not quite there. Gunther. I've had Gunther before. Vancouver, not on the list. Vegas, not on the list. And Washington is on the list. Leonard's a two-way forward. Lexi Protas is a power forward. Okay. Winnipeg, not on the list. Okay, so who did we have? Watched, and I can't see, can I? I think maybe let's go to Columbus and try to get one of those guys either Marchenko or Chinikov, I think would be pretty good. So Marchenko obviously has a little bit more trade value, but he's also got a huge cap hit. And now I'm not sure. We do have a lot of cap available, but we do have to sign some guys. So I do like the idea of Chinikov. Good shooting, good speed. That doesn't really matter too much in the sim, but he could be pretty good for us. He's got an X factor as well. Lead edges, yeah. So why don't we try and see if we can get Igor Chinikov. I don't have a trade there. Okay, so medium elite goaltender we could do, because we have Levi, obviously. First round pick in 2029. I don't want to give that up because I don't know how good we'll be there. Another medium elite goaltender and medium elite goaltender. So they want a medium elite goaltender. So we'll decline this one. Okay, so it's Bolesky, Steves, or Beckett that they want. So let's take a look at those guys and see where they're at in their development. So Bolesky is 74, 20 overall, or 20 years old. Steves and Beckett. So hold on to Steves because he's like got a tiny bit. And I think we could give up Beckett. Same age as Steves, slightly lower overall. So let's go ahead and pull the trigger on that. Okay, so Columbus, Chinikov, with Steves, right? Want to make sure he was 67 overall. He's 68 overall. It's Beckett that we want to give up. Okay. Columbus, Chinikov, Beckett. So Beckett in a second for Chinikov. There we go. So now that puts us forwards. We'll have Benson, Thompson, McLeod, Chinikov, Malkin, and Kulik. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that there. As our top six. And then we've got Michelli, Wahlberg, and Luca. And then we can maybe make some additional moves in the off season. But I do want to try to offload some of these guys. So let's see if there's anything we can get for Patrick Kane. First of all, nope. How about Krebs? Okay, couple for Krebs. So 2/3, second and a fourth. Whoa, was that franchise medium? Wow, Maddox Schultz. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. He was not scouted at all by us, but I guess that does make sense. And at 5th overall, holy, good pick by the Blues there. Forgot about this kid. Real life player, probably going to go 1st overall in this draft in real life. So yeah, good pick by St. Louis there. And anybody else that we could, not really, hey? Yeah, we'll just keep moving these picks. So let's go back to Krebs. Third and a fourth, 2/3, third and a fourth, 2/3. So Nashville or Winnipeg. Who was on the list? I believe Nashville was. Yes, they were. So let's go Nashville. So Krebs to the Preds for 2/3. Thanks for your time with us, sir. And then Josh Doan. See if anybody wants him. To the Rangers for a second. I'll take that. Josh Doan, thank you. A lot better in real life than in this game. Maybe next roster update he'll get a bump. And then nobody wants Kane, so that's fine. So let's just start moving out these draft picks. So I always try to do... Nobody really ever does these trades in bunches. So if we can get 3 of them at once, that would be ideal. What about 2 of them at once? There we go. I do not want Jacob Trouba. I do not want Warren Fogle. I do not want Deneau. I do not want Middlestat. I don't want Lowry. And I don't want Ryan Hartman. This may be difficult because I have these guys as guys I want, but these are terrible trades. Like, you know what? What if we assume that Seattle's going to be bad again? Maybe they won't be because they just got this dude. But what if we go to Calgary and trade for their pick next year? So, I mean, would they trade this pick in real life, having just been bottom 5? Probably not, right? But what's a team 3 years in? Probably like Utah. Utah's kind of coming up. The Kings are probably on the downswing. Kings, Caps, the Devils maybe. I think the Kings are realistically. Do they still have Kopitar? And do they still have Doughty? If they do, then I'll make a move there. They do not. Okay, so I won't trade to the Kings, but what about the Caps or the Devils? Washington. Ovechkin is still there. He has not retired. John Carlson is still there. So let's trade to the Caps for their first round pick next year. And yeah, and we'll see what happens with that. Okay, so we'll do that. We'll do that. Will that go through? Probably. Yes, it will. And how about the Devils? Can we get their pick? That seems realistic enough. They still have Jack Hughes, I assume. And this core, that's, yeah, they still have Hughes, still have Bratt, still have Heathshire. So they're a team that's probably looking to move up. And if they don't, then maybe we get a lottery pick next year as well. Okay, so it's kind of a... See if we can get that. No. Okay, well, what about like a second round pick instead? And we'll move off of that. We'll move off of that. There we go. And how about let's go back to Calgary. They'll trade some lower round picks. They're going to because I'm asking them to. 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. 4th, 5th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Sure, why not? Sweeten the value. Okay, so not the 2nd. Or 7th. There we go. Okay, so there's all of our picks gone. No picks in this draft, but We got what we came here for, getting Igor Chinikov, and we got a first-round pick for next year from the Capitals. So that's good there. That is the draft. No players, but we're trying to win now. We're in that mode. Just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, lost to the eventual champs. And we're looking to build this offseason so we can compete for the Cup again next year. So next video will be re-sign and free agency. And we'll get to the start of year 4 regular season. If you enjoyed this one, I know kind of boring, but it's just the setup for the fun stuff. So thanks for watching if you did. And please like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.